Now let's reconsider this process of listen contemplation practice from a different angle. I want to reverse the order, placing understanding, contemplation at the bottom, with study and practice rising above the water's surface. Many of you, after attending a class, often try to practice immediately but forget the crucial element of deep understanding. In reality, you need all three elements: study, reflect, and apply. At the same time, during the practice process, you must continuously seek deeper understanding. Each practice session is an opportunity to revisit your understanding, and only by following this cycle will true depth of consciousness emerge. Conversely, if you only study and practice for results without seeking understanding, that's merely mimicry without comprehension. I often see this phenomenon in many businesses and young professionals just starting their careers. They learn a few clever techniques from somewhere, practice for a year or two, and accidentally achieve significant success. After 3 or 4 years having become people worth billions, they think they're truly skilled. But the truth is they don't really understand. Their knowledge remains vague. And by the 5th year, how many of them have to close their businesses? Many, truly many. All because this understanding remains too shallow. Let's take a simple example we're all familiar with: frying fish. Why couldn't anyone in Vietnam create a non-stick pan for frying fish without oil, while Koreans managed to do it? Because we learned that frying fish requires oil, then we practiced it, saw that frying fish with oil gives good results, and we stopped there, not investigating further. In essence, the nature of frying fish isn't about whether to use oil or not. What matters is finding the right temperature for the fish to brown evenly, cook thoroughly, and absorb the seasonings for good flavor. That's the core element. Koreans recognized this and created non-stick pans that don't require oil, even air fryers. They sell these products for millions of Vietnamese dong, while our pans only cost 100,000 or 150,000 Vietnamese dong. Why are their pans 5 or 10 times more expensive than ours? Because during their practice process, they continuously re-examined their understanding, identified the core issue, and made adjustments, in other words, innovations. What is innovation? It's the ability to synthesize differently. They observe, analyze, and synthesize differently. While we synthesize mechanically, assuming that frying fish must require oil, they synthesize that frying fish might not necessarily need oil. From there, they created different pans, and their thinking became deeper than ours. When we face a problem, we often contemplate, struggle, and reflect on it. What's notable is, the deeper we understand a problem, the more capable we become of distilling it into simplicity. This is the principle we can summarize as: the ultimate essence of complexity is simplicity. To excel at something, you need to understand it deeply enough that your understanding becomes simple. Only then does practice become easy. Conversely, if you enter life feeling that everything is too complex, your chances of failure will be very high. Interestingly, around the age of 45 to 50, some people begin to untangle the complexities of life piece by piece. However, it's worth noting that very few people can step up and untangle these complexities. Most of us get trapped in the cycle of making ends meet until the end of our lives and define that as living. But there are exceptional individuals who begin to untie one knot after another. Then one day they untangle almost everything and step into a new state, a state of synthesis, where everything becomes simple. In this state, their understanding becomes very profound. We can call this wisdom. Although the term wisdom sounds lofty, it's actually just the deep understanding that helps them see things simply. Therefore, the ultimate essence of complexity is simplicity. In contrast, children are simple because they don't yet understand what life is. So when people say, we must return to childhood, what does that mean? It means that as adults, at some point we need to learn from children's simplicity. But understand clearly, this isn't about reverting to our initial state, but ascending to a new level. Only when we understand deeply enough and synthesize subtly enough can we view things as simply as children do. But this is simplicity derived from depth, not from naivety. If you go from being a complicated, complex person to a naive state lacking understanding, simplicity based on ignorance, then you're like someone with a mental illness. Such people are very innocent, very pure, and there are thousands of them. You could join their ranks, but that's not the true meaning. The essence of returning to childhood is about rising to a new level, where simplicity is the result of profound understanding. When we truly see through life, something miraculous happens. Life suddenly becomes transparent and comprehensible. This isn't simplification, but a profound understanding of the essence of everything. Consider this fundamental question. What creates the greatest wealth? Only the Buddha could provide the essential answer. Contentment is ultimate wealth. This answer seems simple, but in reality, only about 1 in billions of people can fully comprehend an answer like this. Most of us cannot arrive at this answer. The important thing to recognize is we cannot achieve such deep insights through self-reflection alone. If we rely solely on our natural thinking, we'll struggle to reach these fundamental truths. We need to learn from the essence of wisdom from the sages who came before us. Only then can we realize how genuinely correct and profoundly deep these seemingly simple truths actually are.